Good evening, America. I am Eric Little. It is the 20th day of October, 2020. There are 2 weeks exactly, 14 days until the end of the general election. I'm near my home in Southern California this evening, and this is the plain truth. So I wake up this morning and to see Donald Trump whining about the debate commission now. Oh, they're going to mute me. They're going to mute the mic so I can't say what I want to say. You mean they're not going to let you constantly interrupt like you did at the first one? Good. You don't see Joe Biden complaining about that. He wants to be able to just talk over everybody like he normally does. And the debate commission is like, no. The people want to see a debate. They want to hear what both sides have to say, not just you. If you want to be the only person talking, you need to have a rally. So now he's whining about that. Look, I don't care about this debate. And they ask people who's going to watch it, and it's like 20 points off from the last one because number one, nobody cares. Number two, they're sick of him. And number three, everybody's got their mind made up already. I saw now that the number of supposedly undecided voters is down to 3%. I don't even think it's that high. I mean, what kind of person are you? If you've known about Trump your entire life, seen how he's acted over the last 4 years, and you're undecided. I mean, what is there to decide on? You've seen his behavior. Look, if you're okay with it, then you're okay with it. If you're like the rest of us and are completely repulsed by it, then you're repulsed by it. I don't see where you're in the middle at this point. It's like, yes, I know he does all these horrible things and the economy's in the toilet and we have 220,000 coronavirus deaths, but I'm on the fence. That's just ridiculous. I never believe anybody when they say they're an undecided voter. So the debate commission is going to mute him, not the whole thing, but how the debate works is there's 6 15-minute segments. So when the host, in this case Christian Welker, introduces the question, okay, Mr. Biden, 2 minutes for you to answer X question. Well, what do you feel about the economy or coronavirus or whatever? You have 2 minutes. They're going to mute his mic during those 2 minutes. After the 2 minutes, then it's an open discussion where you can say whatever you want. And then the same thing happens when he's asked the question first. They mute Joe Biden's mic just for the initial response so that the people can hear what you have to say without you talking over them. It's a great idea. Some people think he's using this whining to get out of it. I don't think he's going to get out of it. I think his advisor has told him he can't get out of it. He needs to be in this way. You're the one that's double digits behind. You need something to change the narrative. Joe Biden doesn't need anything. You cancel this debate, it's not going to get rescheduled. He's just going to say forget it. And you know it. So there's that. Then there's a secondary story right now where there's a company called what is it called, Rendon or something like that. It's a 5G company. All this, everybody's putting a 5G everywhere, AT&T, a Verizon, and it's this 5G company that Trump and Mark Meadows, the chief of staff, have been pressuring the Pentagon to give this multi-billion-dollar contract to before his term is over. This multi-billion-dollar contract with no competitive bidding. And the Pentagon said no. And he's been pressuring Mark Meadows to pressure the Pentagon to just accept this. And the Pentagon said, no, we're not doing it. So we'll find out more about this story as it unfolds. But the reality is, I think what you're starting to see now is, remember I told you yesterday about the behavior of the winning team versus a losing team? You see all these Republicans now trying to jump ship. And I think you see all these people that maybe a year ago would have been afraid to stand up to Donald Trump and might have just bent, but are now saying, I'm not doing that because you're about to be out of office anyway. You can't hurt me. So now I could just say no. And I think you're going to start seeing that more and more, especially after the election. After the election, you'll see people, he'll try to pressure people into doing things. Oh, by the way, guess who's one of the principal investors in that company? Yeah, Trump and some of his Republican allies. But I think you're going to see people more and more as you get closer and closer to the election. Then after the election, things he wants people to do, they're just going to say, no, I'm not doing it. And, the reality is I think Biden, and particularly after the election, ought to tell these people publicly on TV that, listen, stand up to Trump because he can't do anything. If he fires you, I'll rehire you and at your same pay and pay you all your back pay you miss, plus you keep your seniority. And that'll put a stop to that, and then they don't have to worry about it. Like somebody like Anthony Fauci will say, no, go to hell, I'm not doing that. So if he is fired, fine, Joe Biden will hire him back in 8 weeks, give him back his back salary, keep him at the same thing, the same, salary level, and we're going on with our lives. I think that's what's going to have to happen, particularly after the election. And I'm talking about people who are good people who were there before Trump. See, my general thing, if I'm Joe Biden, if you work for Trump, if you came to work under the Trump administration, you're fired. I don't want you around. You have no character. It takes a special person of no character to even work for this guy. So if Donald Trump hired you, you should pack now because you won't be there January 21st. You might as well get yourself a U-Haul now. And one of the things that the people in the government that Trump hired, they're now looking for other jobs, and they're finding it very difficult with Trump administration on your resume. And they should. And that is the plain truth, as I see it. And I am Eric Little. Good night.